So, how is it going, everyone? Welcome to more not another not another needle game, if my throat lets me pronounce it. And I want to finish this right now, right here, right now, cause yesterday basically, my internet went to trash. So I couldn't do much, the stream suddenly ended and all of that, right? I don't wanna bore everyone with the same story, so you know what happened. So that's why today I'm streaming earlier than usual. I mean, for those who are watching on Twitch, obviously for those who are watching on YouTube, if there's even anyone even watching on YouTube, for YouTube this is not important, right? But for those who watch on Twitch, it will probably find a little bit odd the fact that I'm streaming like an hour and a half earlier than usual, but that's because I have a pretty big feeling that one of the biggest problems of my internet not working properly is the fact that, peak hours, right? You know that peak hours are the time of the day when there is the most traffic on the internet, right? That obviously means that on this time of the day, since the traffic is the highest, that means that it's pretty common for speed reductions to happen, right? Because the infrastructure is not enough to handle everything, right? So yeah, that's why I'm doing this earlier. Hope you don't mind. But then again, it's either this or risking the stream going to the trash like yesterday. Hey, Mr. Tusk, how is it going? Yeah, I'm really trying to finish this right here, right now. Although there are still 3 floors remaining. Like this one, another one, and then the last one. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it today. But I'm really gonna try for that to be the case. Because I'm pretty tired of playing this game, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like I'm gonna pretend like I have no problem on playing this over and over. No, I'm really a little bit sick of this game already, so I really want it to end, and the only way to end is, beating it, right? So that's what I'm trying today. Although it might take a while again, but yeah. Of course, in case it needed to be said, I'm just gonna stream until my internet lets me stream. If my internet suddenly cuts off like yesterday, that's gonna be it. But if my internet actually lets me stream, I might stream longer than usual. Just because I want to beat this today. That's the only reason why I will be willing to stream longer. I just want to beat this, and today is the perfect day. Well, I don't know if it is the perfect day, since it's Monday, right? I don't know if Monday is the best day to beat a game like this, but could be worse. On this beautiful Monday, pretty cold Monday, by the way. Or at least significantly colder than last week, that's for sure. Also, how did you arrive home so fast, Mr. Tusk? I thought that normally you stayed at the worst place like until 7 p.m. or something. But you're already home? Or are you still there? I'm not so far away. Oh. Oh, so, okay. It means that you can just like quickly arrive home without much trouble. Alright. I gotcha. Good stuff. Maybe 20-30 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's usually what it should take me if I didn't, you know, walk all the way back to my home on my own feet, but, you know, that's fine. And you know, this is pretty interesting, this floor in particular right here. This floor is not that hard. I know it looks really hard, right? It probably looks hard, it's not that hard. But yesterday I almost beat it, and the reason why I didn't beat it, like, one of my attempts, I got really close to beating it. And the only reason why I didn't is because, you know, I was really distracted by the quality of the connection yesterday. But today, hopefully, that's not gonna be a distraction. Hopefully. Ah, damn it. I leave at 6:45. Nice. Although, I think sometimes you leave a little bit later than that. I mean, I think sometimes you leave like 7.5, right? I mean, I know that those are exceptional cases, but I think sometimes you do that. Right? Yep. Although that's usually by the hand of Mr. Merc. None other than Mr. Merc. But that's fine. You know. I'm pretty sure all of this will eventually pay out in the end, so don't worry about it. Nice. Oh, he almost fucked it up. I did fuck it up, nice! Damn it. I live having a headache. Damn, you have a headache right now? Because if you have a headache right now, you probably shouldn't be watching this. I mean, look at all the flashing lights that this level has. You probably don't... Oh, so that's why you're here? Yeah, I don't know if that's a good medicine. Because, you know... Like, this level in particular is pretty bad for headaches. With all these fluorescent colors in the background and all the apples flying. And also this, you know, disco music in the background. I definitely don't think that might be the best medicine for a headache, but you know, you do you. You know, in fact, this level is so bright and it has so much colors that I had to decrease the brightness on my monitor. Like, I literally had to decrease the brightness of my monitor because of how damn bright it was. And I don't decrease the brightness of my monitor since like 6 months ago. But this game forced me to do it, because otherwise this is not something that you want to stare at with your eyes. Unless you want a headache, that is. Oh, damn it. But you know, at least this is one of the only floors in the game that has this Touhou-like mechanic where you just need to dodge instead of jumping above spikes, right? So, you know, it's kind of nice. It's a good change of pace, right? Damn it. It's gonna be hard. Just wanna let you know. Again, right? Just in case I am not clear enough, this is indeed gonna be hard. So yeah. Although, again, yesterday I was really close to beating this. You know, getting close and actually beating it are two pretty different things, right? Seems difficult? Yeah, it is pretty difficult. It's just that since it's pretty similar to Touhou, normally I'm kinda used to this, right? A little bit used to this. Just a little bit. The reason why I'm not fully used to this is because the bullets come from below instead of above. I will make some coffee, come back in a minute. Alright. Happy coffee. Coffee. That's a pretty interesting beverage, right? I think I never really got the hang of drinking coffee, but you know. This. Oh, nice. Nice. Not nice. Damn it. Programmer that doesn't drink coffee. Yeah, I know, right? How is it going, yummy gummies? Yeah, I never really was a fan of coffee. I know that it is something that is probably a pretty good material to make fun of me, but if there's a beverage that I really like to drink, if you can even call it a beverage, it's milk. Yes, I know, that's a pretty childish drink if you wish, but I really like it. I really can't stand much else. I mean, obviously I drink water, but when it's not water, it's usually milk. Hey, slash RNG, no, MG, how is it going? Yeah, I'm so used to RNG that I read your name as RNG. Well, and basically this floor is like the king of RNG in this game. Alright. Nice. Ah, too high, damn it. I really wonder... I don't remember what floor 17 was. I mean, floor 17 here, I don't remember what was the normal counterpart. I remember floor 16. Like, floor 16 is the one that is a pretty long vertical hallway. But I don't remember 17. I honestly don't. And I think not remembering it might be for the best. But yeah, my memory doesn't really know what floor 17 is supposed to be. Nice. Okay, can we dodge level 5 please? Would be great. No, I guess we can dodge level 5. Alright, good to know. Level 5. But yeah. It will be a pretty good way to start the week if I actually beat this game today. If I beat this game today, it will be like the best way to kickstart the week. It's like the best motivation, right? Just beat a game that I've been playing for literally 70 hours. So, you know, will be a really, really good way to start the week. Pretty good motivational boost. And when I say 17, I literally mean 17, like, just so you can see it by yourself. 70 hours and 5 minutes, I guess. But oh, and we're about to reach the all force number. I wonder if we're gonna reach it. I mean, yeah, probably. I think a better question there will be if I'm gonna remember to show it when it actually happens. I hope. $70 hours, huh? Pretty interesting amount. Gotcha. Nice. Well, there you have it. Oh, I remember this one. This one wasn't that hard. The normal version, that is. I don't know about this one. Just a few more needles. Just a few? Alright. Yeah, sure. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So, oh, I'm supposed to drop, alright. Okay, I'm not supposed to drop because I can go back. Alright. Are you telling me that I need to jump on that plane? Like, are you for real here? Do you expect me to do this plane here? I think they actually do expect me to do that plane. That's a problem. That's fine. Although that jump might be a little bit hard to do. Okay, I can see that for this one they definitely increased the difficulty quite a bit. Damn it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have to press that switch. I don't know what that switch gonna do, but I assume that that's what I have to press. Although I gotta say that making me do this plane is a little bit evil. But then again, it's the first jump. So unless they actually make me do it again, it will be worse. So I think I should be thankful for that, I guess. Yeah, this definitely is gonna take some time. Definitely more time than yesterday, not yesterday, but like the previous floor. Also, that reminds me, right? Since you mentioned it, do you really like coffee that much, Yamigamis? You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Can go down and up instead. down and up. You mean here? Or you mean here? I don't think I can do that jump. The ledge on the left? You mean... Okay. You mean that one. So I stand here. Oh, you mean that? Well, it's not a bad idea. Maybe an American Canadian thing, everyone drinks coffee. Oh no, trust me, everyone here also drinks coffee. That's something that happens all over the world. Well, I guess except for the countries where coffee is like banned or something, but everywhere in the world there's a lot of coffee. It's just that you gotta understand, I'm a pretty weird individual. Never met a software developer who doesn't drink coffee. Yeah, well, you probably also never meet someone who doesn't have a smartphone, right? You probably never meet someone like that. Well, guess what? This asshole right here actually doesn't have a smartphone either. Because I hate them. But you know, that's fine. I know I'm weird. I know a lot of things that I do or I don't do are not what are considered normal, but that's fine. I think I'm already used to that by now. Wait, what the fuck did that do? Oh, okay, I get it. Wait, I have to go back again? Son of a bitch, alright. Oh, that was too high. Yeah, I was supposed to come here and then... Okay, I can do that. But yeah. Also, another weird thing that I have is the fact that I like playing Touhou, which is, you know, that might not be that rare, but it's like Touhou games are something that barely anyone gives a shit about, even Touhou fans. So yeah, that's another weird thing. A lot of people really that like Touhou as a series don't like the games. So yeah, but that's fine, don't worry about it. Can I? No, I can't jump from here, so I need to go here first. So by the way, this is the second to last floor in the game. So yeah, be patient because it's definitely gonna take some time. Also, what do you think about this schedule right here? Like, if I start streaming at the time that I start streaming today, right? Is that good or not? Because, I mean, I don't do it because I want to. I do it because my internet is shit, so I want to avoid getting into that time of the day where my internet just goes to trash. That's why I'm streaming so early, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I don't even know, honestly, when people watch me the most. Although I think a big portion of the viewers also come from hosts, right? Like, there are people like Deus, for example, or AC Borsha that host me, auto-host me, right? And I think a lot of people come from those channels. And the thing about that is that they usually end the stream when I usually start it, right? So normally they almost always auto host, right? But if I stream right now, it's basically I'm streaming at the same time as they do. So yeah, I don't know. But then again, if it's not this time, it can be any other time. Because later than when I stream, it's too late. So the only chance is doing it earlier, like today, right? Which is basically an hour and a half earlier. It's not that much, but you know, if I can avoid that time of the day with the slow connection, then so be it, right? Touhou has actually increased in difficulty compared to older games, newer ones so hard. Are you sure about that? I mean, well, that depends on how you play them, because, for example, Touhou 16 is a game that you can choose practically spam release, and you can one coin clear even on Lunatic, even if you don't know how to play the game. Like, let's say that you pick Aya and Fall and play Lunatic, you just need to release, go where the boss is, or you know, to the top of the screen, then go back and then repeat. You do that until you meet the final boss, and that's it. So unless you mean pattern wise, I don't think they really increase in difficulty. Like, sure, if we're talking about no bomb, no release, then yeah, they are probably harder. But if we're talking about the whole package with no limitations, I will say that Touhou, if anything, has gotten a bit easier. At least in Touhou 16. Like, for example, Touhou 13, 16 and 15 point device, they are way easier than any of the classic games, I will say. But yeah, if we're talking about no bomb runs, then yeah, they are probably harder. They are definitely probably harder. But you know, I think if you're new to, like, for people that are new to Touhou, the fact that you have a lot of mechanics to save yourself, it's a good thing, because you can play the games without feeling scared about them. Right, like, I can probably say Mr. Tusk right here in chat that he doesn't like Danmaku games like Touhou, right? But if I tell him to play Touhou 16, he never played a Danmaku game before, right? But he can probably beat it, just because of the release mechanic. Even if it's not the hardest difficulty or anything like that, he can definitely beat it. Right, Mr. Tusk? I know you can. I know you definitely can. Probably haven't played enough of the newer ones, only comparing SID 7, 8 and 9 to like 11 and 15. Well, it's true that 11, 12, 14 and 15 Legacy mode, those 4 are definitely harder than the previous one, at least in my opinion, right? I mean, 11 has really hard patterns, 12 has a shitty UFO system, 14 has pretty hard patterns and a pretty shitty mechanic for resources, 15 has also what 12 has, which is hard patterns and shitty mechanic on top of that. So yeah, those definitely I can understand, but you also have 13 and 16. 13 and 16 are games that you can play as I say, basically knowing nothing about Danmaku games, and you can probably one coin clear. But yeah, I guess overall, yeah, the newer games might be harder in the long run than the older games. It just depends on which one we're talking about. 11 and 15 definitely are two games that are harder than most of the Touhou games. That's for sure. Although I gotta say, even with how hard 11 is, it's one of my favorites. Probably top 3 or maybe my 4th favorite game, Touhou game that is. Like 11 is so well done. Like the mechanics are amazing, the patterns are fun, the atmosphere of the game is great, the characters are great, the music is, well, as always, godlike. Like, there are many things that I can complain about with Touhou 11. Touhou 11 is such an amazing game. I can't really say the same about Touhou 15 though. But Touhou 11 is such a masterpiece. But yeah, I do agree that it is hard. It's a hard game for sure. And in fact, the difficulty of the game really depends on which character you use, since in that game, differently from many of the other Touhou games, the bombs are pretty specific. Most of the bombs are like utility bombs, right? Like, for example, you have the Nitori variation with Marisa, where you cast a shield, but you don't do damage unless you get hit, and even if you get hit, the damage is really bad, right? Then you have, for example, Reimu with Aya, which if I'm not wrong, the bomb is only around you and you have to go after the boss if you wanna do damage. But you gotta really hurry when the bomb runs out, because you're gonna get hit by everything basically. And then you also have Marisa and Pachuri in Touhou 11, where yeah, you only bomb around you and there's no way to transport the bomb anywhere else. So yeah, the difficulty on that game really depends on which character you pick for sure. But you know, I think that's fine. Also, let me practice this jump. When I say this jump, I mean this. Oh, okay, you can do that. The only problem is that you don't have a pretty big window to do that jump. If you do it too early, you're gonna die. If you do it too late, you're also gonna die. So you gotta do it at the right time. Although I guess the advantage of this is that the gravity is not so taxing, because there is not that much height in between that platform and the lower platform, right? So that's a pretty big advantage. So good shit. You know, someday I gotta really do a top, like from the games that I like the least to the games that I like the most with Touhou, right? Cause, you know, I feel like with Touhou is like something pretty specific, right? Because it's one of those series where I can clearly say I like this game way better than this other game, right? Like the difference between the games in Touhou is pretty significant. So for example, games that I absolutely love about Touhou, which are Touhou 8, Touhou 10, Touhou 5, Touhou 11, those 4 games, and the way I like them are pretty different to the other Touhou games, like for example 6, 7, 9, 13, right? And then obviously there is those games that I really don't like, although there aren't many like that, but the ones that obviously come to my mind are Touhou 1 and 2, which obviously, as I always say, you can't blame Sun for that because he was just a beginner. But yeah, those games are just bad. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nice. Okay, so here I have to do a drop jump. But not like that. Damn it. Alright. Well, at least the good thing about that drop jump is that you can hold right and you're not gonna get hit by any spike. So the only thing that you need to time properly is your jump. Like your double jump, right? Like that, alright. So here I'm supposed to pick that up, but not like that. Wow, I can't believe I died there. But yeah, but when I pick that up, where am I supposed to go? Oh, I'm supposed to, from here, teleport right here. Okay, okay. And what does that do? Like this switch, what does that switch do? Okay, but how do I go back? Oh, by doing a teleport here and then jumping. Alright. Alright, I gotcha. Also, something worth noting is... Oh, okay, the align doesn't change. Alright. Good stuff. That's good to know. Because if the align change, basically this drop that I'm doing right here will be impossible. That drop is align dependent, if I'm not mistaken. So if you have the wrong align, good luck trying to do that. I guess you can do it with a preemptive jump into a double jump, but yeah, again, good luck with that. Okay, so this floor is not that hard. I mean, there are some jumps that are a little bit challenging, but that's about it. It's not that bad. So this is kind of like just a breakfast before the actual hard floor, which is the next one. The next one is really gonna be a pain in the butt. You know, I gotta say that the good thing about this is that this music is pretty catchy, right? And it's not tiresome, at least not to me. I know that some people might not like this music, but to me, this music is not only good, but it's also good to focus, right? Like, could you imagine if I had to do all this shit while listening to the Levan polka? No, that's something that I don't want to imagine. I mean, I probably will need to play the game muted if that was the case. And again, I don't want people to think that I don't like the Levan polka. I do like it. It's just that it's a horrible song to concentrate. It's a good song if you just wanna, you know, fuck around, right? If you wanna concentrate in platforming, it's a pretty bad song. It's like listening to Speedcore, although Speedcore will be even worse. Yeah. Although, you know, I feel like Speedcore in a fun game will be pretty fitting for a boss. A boss that was pretty much full Danmaku. A Speedcore song will be perfect. Although it will obviously have to match the pace of the fight, right? Like, it has to be a fast-paced fight. Nice. Alright, teleport. And here I have to double wait, can I full double jump? I think I can. So it's full double jump into teleport into jump. Nice. So here I choose drop. Nice. Oh, that's right. I forgot this. This was a fake floor before the actual last floor. So this is the second to last floor. Damn it. Yeah, alright. I remember that. Okay, so what am I supposed to do here? Probably not supposed to go here, right? Probably not. But if I don't go here, then those jump refreshers seems to be pretty precisely placed. Damn, this seems like some pretty taxing platforming. Although I really wonder what exactly I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to do that jump? Probably. I don't think I can do it, right? If I do it like that. Am I supposed to do that jump? Or am I supposed to do something else? So I don't think I need to pick that one, right? Oh, maybe I do need to pick that one. And I think I can, it's just that I need to do it high enough, like that. Isn't it kinda like the same? If I pick it or if I don't pick it? This is a pretty interesting jump. And it's the first one. I wonder if I am supposed to pick the top refresher. Or if I'm supposed to just use 2 refreshers for that. It's a good question that I don't know how to answer. You can use 2? Alright. Yeah, I think that will be better in this case. I don't think I wanna use 3. Although regardless of how many I use, that jump looks really hard to do. And the following jumps look even harder. Damn it. Seems like it's one of those jumps that is like pixel perfect or something like that. Because the only way to get to the other side is being enough to the left. That seems... okay. Will this kill? No, it won't kill, alright. So here I am supposed to do a double jump, although seems a little bit hard to do, but you definitely can. Nice. Okay, it was hard. This is a full double jump. Okay. This is probably a line dependent, right? I assume that my current align is enough, right? Or at least I hope. Damn it. Alright, I can already feel this being a complete pain in the butt. Without a doubt. Yeah, that trick is basically doing a jump that is precise enough to not touch the roof and at the same time be to the left enough. Nice. Oh, that was too short. Damn it. There we go. Wow, so the second jump can't even be a guaranteed double jump. Like you can do a full double jump there. Need to be careful about that wall spike. Jesus. Alright. So I wonder if I need to go to the top platform right there to change my alignment. Or if I should just, you know, do it, right? Oh, okay, so that's the correct align. Am I supposed to hurry? You can't be serious. I am supposed to hurry. Damn, that's evil. That's actually evil. You're supposed to hurry up. Wow. Kappa? That more like, this is more like dark mode than Kappa. Like holy shit, you're pretty evil if you expect me to do that real quick. Holy shit, dude. I wonder if this jump is doable. Maybe I can hold right and jump here. Because if you're expecting me to do these jumps fast enough to catch this shit, you're out of your mind. But then again, I'm not surprised about this game being like this. You know, not possible. Damn it. I almost got happy and thought that it was possible. It will be great because I will just need to worry about doing that fast enough, but I wouldn't need to worry about like being precise. But now I need to worry about being fast enough and being precise. And you know what's the most fucked up thing? Is that after that, there's more. Damn, and look at this gate at the end. Holy shit. doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't think it's possible either. It's just that it's quite the coincidence that it's there, right? But it might be just a coincidence. Or, you know, just the creator trying to fuck with you, right? The last one is the most possible one, I will say. Ah, damn it. Right to the spike. Alright. I really concentrate here because... Well, at least the hardest jump is right at the beginning. As always, right? Normally the hardest jumps in floors like this are right at the beginning, right? So that's good. Although that still means that it's gonna take me a pretty long time just retrying the first jump. I have to wait a little bit more to turn to the right. Okay. I wonder what this narrator is gonna say when I eventually beat this. But at the same time I can't be that slow. Maybe I could help myself with a double jump there. Although it will be a little bit risky because you barely have any room to do that. It doesn't help that the gravity is probably gonna crush me. So I really gotta think about it. But that's fine. And you know, I'm a little bit surprised that this stage is not using the teleport gimmick that much, right? And when I say surprise, I mean surprise. I don't mean, you know, that I'm not happy about it. I'm definitely happy about it. Also, yeah, that jump is impossible. You're right. Just in case we needed proof, yeah, it is indeed impossible. But now we know. That's gonna be such a pain in the ass. Because once I reach this place, this question mark, I have to immediately jump to the left. This has to be a double jump, by the way. But the problem is that the jump that I do to the left has to be really precise. And then the double jump kinda has to be pretty precise to get right here and not hit this wall spike or this spike right here. And then, after I do that, I could probably do a short hop to fall here and then do a full double jump, but I think I'm gonna waste time if I do that. So I probably will need to do something like jump straight from here with a double jump. I don't know. Also, I wanna test if getting the third jump refresher here. Okay, that might be easier. It might be a little bit easier. Although obviously it's not faster, so it's not really an option if I care about speedrunning. But the good news is that I don't, so I can just do it. Well, I don't know exactly if it's that easier, but feels like you have a better window when you use the third refresher. At least it seems that I can consistently get to the third refresher. Well, semi-consistently. I just need to get a good initial jump and then the rest is just automatic, right? Pretty easy to get hit by that spike right there. That first spike seems to be quite the gatekeeper. Damn, now that jump on the bottom is actually taking me time to do. That double jump. It's pretty interesting. And I thought, you know, I think this game, this floor on the normal version wasn't this hard. I don't think it was, or at least my memory. I mean, the fact that I don't remember it means that it's probably not that hard in the normal version. Ah, damn it. Have to stop myself right there. It is such an evil floor. I think that's the only way that you can word it. It's just a pretty evil floor overall. And again, I really do hope that I can do this soon enough. Like, I think at this point I'm pretty sure that I can do this before September 9th, right? Pretty sure that's not the problem, but even if I can do it before September 9th, I really hope I can beat this today. Cause damn, I really can't tell you enough how mentally taxing this game is. Obviously for people that are good at this kind of thing, it might not be that bad. But for me, yeah. For me it's just something else. But yeah, it is indeed pretty mentally taxing. Are you serious? I actually died there. Alright, sure. Zero. You know, weirdly enough, I didn't get mute on yesterday's stream for this song. So I don't really know what's up with Twitch copyright system. I mean, it's probably a piece of trash just like any other copyright system available, but damn, they really don't even want to hide it, how shitty it is. I don't even know what this song is called. I mean, I don't even know, and I don't even care. You know, the shitty auto copyright detector cares. Oh, I can't believe it. I already got past the all force dead number. I'm sitting at 44,658 deaths. Son of a bitch. I knew I was gonna forget, but whatever. Who cares? It's just a funny looking number, nothing else. But I have another number that might be equally worth it. Maybe. Like this one right here. 44666. So the beast is here with us, right? Everybody be careful about that. But yeah, I completely forgot. I'm a dumbass. Anyways, whatever. The important thing here is not the amount of times we died, but when I am gonna beat this. That's the important thing. It's so hard to do that fast enough without hitting that mini spike. Like, it's really hard, because you're trying to hurry up, but if you hurry too much, you hit it. Obviously, if you don't hurry enough, you're not gonna make it, so... yeah. It's a bit of a problem. Oh shit. And look who is knocking on the door. shitty internet is knocking on the door. Alright, that's fine. At least it doesn't seem like those drops were that bad. I mean, we're still a little bit, you know, far from the hour that where this usually happens, so I don't understand why it's preemptively happening here. Maybe it's kind of like how they just, you know, use, like they limit the amount of data that you can send. Maybe that's why it happens. So if you send a lot, they are like, alright, you should send a lot. Stop, right? I mean, maybe that's what happens. I have no idea, but it wouldn't be hard to, or like even rare to think something like that, especially coming from this trash ISPs, right? But that's fine. It's still, the worst still hasn't happened. So I'm just rolling with it for now. I mean, been streaming for an hour, so I guess that's good enough. But the problems, if anything, the problems should start 1 hour from now. But they are starting a little bit early today. I mean, usually this is the time when I'm like trying, like I'm thinking about starting the stream, right? I'm not even streaming normally at this hour. So, yeah. Nice. Oh, maybe I didn't have the align. Oh, I have no way of knowing when I'm dead. Because obviously that jump is align dependent, right? So maybe I hit a wall without knowing. Or maybe I didn't hit a wall that I needed to hit. Well, whatever the case is, I'm definitely gonna try to see what my align is when I do that. That is, if I can reach that place again, which is probably gonna take some effort, but that's fine. So right now I have the B align. Alright, seems like it is the B align, the one you need. So maybe when I reached there the other time, I had another align. Might be the case. Well, I gotta say that I'm thinking about how worried I am about Touhou 17, because I mean, not only my connection is trash, but also Touhou 17 is not a game where you can just decrease the bitrate like this one. I mean, this one you can decrease the bitrate probably to even 1000 and it's gonna look fine. Touhou, on the other hand, no. Touhou is a game that needs bitrate. So, you know. This weekend I'm probably gonna do some preemptive tests. Like I'm gonna test streaming, like obviously bandwidth tests, streaming Touhou at, you know, high bitrate, low resolution, you know, all of that. I wanna do all those tests just to make sure. Ah, fuck. I almost got it. That was the closest that I was so far to getting the elevator. That's fine. We're getting there. Slowly, but surely. Yeah, that jump seems to be the second hardest after the first one. Because you have to do it in a hurry, and it's also pretty precise. So doing a precise jump in a hurry, it's a bad combination. No matter which jump it is. Obviously some jumps are clearly harder than others, but yeah. Trying to hurry while doing a precise jump is never a good combination. And here you need to. Also, I wonder if the actual last floor, aka the next one, I really wonder if it's gonna have the teleport mechanic or if I'm just gonna fall. Damn it, did I? Or maybe I stopped walking, that's why I died. Maybe. No, I don't know. And it's pretty funny because that jump with the jump refresher is pretty easy to do. It's pretty easy to do when you're not in a hurry, that is. Damn it. Also, something else that I wonder about the last floor is that if it's gonna have save points. Because, you know, the other floor that was pretty similar to that one, which is like the one that is all dark and stuff. Damn. I think even hurrying like that is not fast enough. Holy shit. Need to do it faster than that. Wow, alright. Yeah, I was about to say that that floor that is similar to the next one, basically in this version, the upside down version didn't have any save point. You have to do it from the beginning. Although it's true that there is a big section that you can choose to skip. So that obviously makes the floor shorter. But also, I hope this one is not too bad. Because if it doesn't have any save points, other than, well, the first one, then yeah, it might be a problem. But you know, that's something that I shouldn't worry about right now. Should worry about this floor right now. I gotta be careful about that jump with the jump refresher. And the worst part is that you can't practice that. Because as you can see, this thing won't let you. So the only way to practice that jump is doing it in the spot while hurrying. So yeah. That's a pretty big pain in the ass. Damn. The frame drops are coming in pretty early today, huh? Interesting. Seems that not even changing my schedule helps with that. Son of a bitch. Well, at least it still hasn't come as badly as yesterday yet. It might come sooner or later, but for now, it's only some, you know, frame drops here and there. So I hope it continues just being some frame drops here and there, and it actually doesn't completely destroys the stream like yesterday. Yesterday it was terrible. Like, I tried to ignore them, but at some point it got impossible to ignore. It got impossible to ignore because, as I told you yesterday, the stream literally cut itself. Like, it literally ended itself because at some point my connection was so shitty that, you know, the upstream got to 0. Right? 0 kilobits per second. So yeah. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. You know, even if it happens right now, at least I progressed quite a bit, right? I beat 2 floors, and I'm having quite some practice with this one. So, you know, it wasn't that bad, even if it completely gets owned in a couple minutes, which is probably what's gonna happen. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I came mentally prepared for that today. I'm like, okay, I know this is gonna suck. I know that it's probably gonna happen the same that happened yesterday. So that's why I'm streaming earlier. And if it happens, at least I stream either 1.5 hours or 2 hours, if I'm lucky. So, you know, I mean, you gotta keep a positive attitude about this. After all, if you don't keep a positive attitude, the salt is just gonna eat you inside out. You don't want that to happen. So, you know, you just gotta keep a positive attitude. There's no other way to do it. Although, let me tell you, it's pretty hard. It is indeed pretty hard, but you gotta do it. Although it will be great if I could, I mean, obviously it will be amazing if I can just beat this game today, right? That obviously will be top tier. Now, if my internet doesn't let me, which is probably what's gonna happen, at least I would like to beat this one, this floor right here. Just so on the next stream, I actually just need to beat the, you know, the last floor. It will be like the perfect way to start the stream. Like, yeah, I'm right here at the last floor, right? Will be great. And I really wonder if it's gonna be harder than this one. Although I know that the answer is probably yes. So, you know. What I do hope is that it won't take me until September 9, right? Because I think I already made up my mind that I'm beating this before September 9, right? That's probably gonna happen. What I do hope that doesn't happen is that I beat it right in September 9. Because, yeah, that will just be painful. Tremendously painful. Damn it. But, you know, at least this floor doesn't have any teleport shenanigans, right? This floor is pure platforming. Or, as I would like to say, pristine platforming. At least it's not pristine Danmaku Hell, that's for sure. You can do it, no problem, thanks. Well, it also depends. I mean, obviously, it greatly depends on me, but it also depends on my internet. So, yeah. This is a team effort. A team effort between my internet and me. I'm doing my part, though. Or at least I think I'm doing my part. And I really feel sorry for blaming Twitch on what happened yesterday. Twitch had nothing to do. The thing, you know, here's the thing, right? I rely too much on speed test. The problem with speed tests is that they obviously are good for when your internet actually works like trash, right? That's when they are really good, because if a speed test is bad, then undoubtedly your internet is working bad, right? The problem is when your speed test is good but your connection is bad. And why does that happen, you might ask, right? And the reason for that is package losses, right? I mean, you can have, the thing about speed tests is that they normally test the highest speed that you can either send or receive data with, right? But they don't take into account most of the time package losses, right? And obviously something like package losses is incredibly important for streaming, since a stream, just as the name suggests, is a stream of data. A stream of data that is not supposed to get interrupted, right? So if you suffer from package loss, it means that your stream is undoubtedly gonna suffer as well. Things like ping, jitter, packet loss are more important, yeah, pretty much. And that's obviously something that a normal speed test won't take into account, which is the reason why I want to learn what's the command to do a speed test from your command prompt, right? I know that you can do ping a web page and then you can do -t, and if you do that you can continuously ping a specific website. That's pretty good to detect if you have internet or not. It's not that good to detect package losses unless your internet is really working like trash. But yeah, it's not really that good for package losses because you're just sending like a little tiny bit of data that, you know, it barely matters, right? But you know, I need to learn how to send big packages of data, which I know you can. I definitely know you can, but I need to look up the command for that, which will basically be the same as doing a speed test, except for the fact that it will actually be useful. I still find it pretty funny that they named that the ping pong protocol, because that's the name. When you say ping, it's a shorthand for saying ping pong protocol. You know, I mean, it makes sense, because just like ping pong, you're supposed to measure what comes, like what leaves your computer and how it comes back, right? So it resembles ping pong, right? But it's just really funny that they left that name. It's called ICMP. ICMP, is that Internet Connection Measurement Protocol? Probably not, right? I just made that up. Internet Control Message Protocol. Okay. Didn't hear what you say. Oh, I should say some random stupid stuff. Well, I say Internet Connection Measurement. But yeah. I guess not. Internet Control Message Protocol. I think I remember reading about that one when I was in university, but I just forgot about it. Although I guess the colloquial way of calling it is actually ping pong protocol, right? Because I know that name is still used. Like, a lot of people call it that way. I mean, well, that's the reason why it's called ping in the first place. Although obviously I guess ICMP will be the formal way of calling it. You probably learn oscillators in school. Yeah, I actually learned them in university. I didn't learn them on school. I learned them in university, the layers. Basically the first one is the physics layer, the second one is the... how the hell was it called? I know that it's the one that knows the MAC address, right? But I forgot the name of the second layer. I know the third one is network, which knows IP, and the fourth one is transport, which is pretty much TCP and UDP. I'm also a software developer, not surprisingly. Yeah, I found out about that when you say that you try to, you know, modify the save files for the games. That's obviously something that not just anybody can do, especially considering that most save data is, well, pretty well... Well, it's not that they are well encoded, it's just that they are not like some text files that you can just edit with Notepad. There are things that have some kind of encrypting in it. I don't know if encrypting is the right word. I think some save files are in binary, right? Not sure. Although it obviously depends on the developer and the game, right? Although that's pretty interesting that you learn about the OSI model in school. Like, that's something that will never be taught in a school around here. You know, I gotta say that the school education right here is pretty comparable to the USA, as in that they both are trash. But at least the good thing is that universities here are really good. That's one of the only positive things that this country has. Incredibly good universities. Really good universities. Seen a bunch of crap, some use encryption algorithms, some hash the save data with a salt and verify the hash. Oh, you mean the university? Alright. I will be surprised if that was taught in schools. I mean, I will be proud if someone teach the OSI layers on school, but yeah, I don't think that most schools will be okay with that. Although it should be necessary. A lot more people should understand networks more. Well, not just networks, but like computers in general, right? Especially in an age where technology is, and you know, networks is so important, right? And it's everywhere. It's not like you can just escape from it, right? But yeah. Also pretty interesting about the save files. I assume that the ones that... Not sure what they teach in school nowadays, haven't been there for a while. Well, I think... If I'm not mistaken, because my memory, as you might know, is trash, but I think I finished school 6 years ago. Right? Yeah, I think it was 6 years ago. And when I was there was barely nothing related to that. Although obviously you learn Visual Basic. Wait, you actually learn Visual Basic in high school? Holy shit. Or is that something else? Is that some other acronym? Because if that's Visual Basic, oh nice. Visual Basic and Java, wow, alright. Now that's something really good. Holy crap. I wish I could teach that in high school. I mean, there was a programming, assignment, right? But they only teach pseudo... How do you say this? Pseudocode. And you know, who gives a shit about pseudocode, right? By choice? Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't think here even by choice. I mean, you could choose to, as I say, study pseudocode. But like, pseudocode is so useless. I mean, I understand that it's a way to teach programming without getting into the specifics of a single language, right? I understand that, but it's useless. I barely even remember anything that I've seen in pseudocode. I mean, yes, I know that you are teach the basic structure of, you know, functions call, variable assignment and all of that, but it's just like completely useless. I mean, you should teach something like Java or JavaScript. I'm pretty sure people are gonna understand it, even if they never seen a programming language before. You just need to be a good teacher, obviously. You also learn basic for microcontroller programming. Damn. Microcontroller programming, huh? You mean microcontroller as like drivers? Because if you learn how to code drivers, I will be really surprised. Oh, small robots, alright. Well, yeah, like Arduino and stuff, right? Stuff like a wire, if a wire hits a wall, turn opposite direction, yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's something that is really fun. I never did it, which is pretty sad, I know, but... You know... I think on the university that I basically studied programming, they are now doing it. They didn't do it when I studied there, but I think now they are doing it, which is great. Because it's a really good way to get people interested in programming, because you're immediately seeing the result of your efforts, right? You're immediately seeing what happens when you program, right? Like, you don't need to see a black screen that you know prints some stuff that nobody cares. Here you can actually see it in action. That's great. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the best ways to get people into programming. You're like, damn, my work is actually worth a shit. Because it's pretty much like playing a game at that point. Nowadays a lot of universities teach Python. In uni it was mostly Java for me, along with some Lisp and 86 ASM. Wow. Did you actually learn assembler? Wow. Interesting. That's some pretty interesting stuff. Although I don't know why most universities don't just try to start with JavaScript. Although I think I understand. I mean, JavaScript is a pretty good language to use, but the fact that it's weakly typed and that it's an interpreted language might not be the best for people that should start. Like, I mean, it will be good because they will immediately be able to use it probably, but it will definitely not teach them basic stuff that they can probably meet in other languages, right? Like, you know, as I say, data types and all that stuff. JavaScript is interesting, has a very bad reputation because of the past. Yeah. I think there is also a lot of OG coders, like, you know, people that code for a pretty long time now. And, you know, they are used to coding in languages that are pretty strict, right? And all of a sudden the most popular language in the world basically lets you do all this stuff almost without limitation, and you are like, damn, this hurts my soul, right? But then again, I think it's better that way. When it was terrible to work with, I love JavaScript nowadays. ECMAScript 6 really fits it. Yeah, I think it really has a lot of cool things. To the point where I really don't feel like using anything else. Unless it's something weirdly specific that you need to go low level. But if you do, you know, any application program that is high level, might as well just use JavaScript, right? And, you know, it doesn't have that limitation about being client side anymore. You can use it server side with Node.js, which is great. And again, that's the Node.js is what I use to code the bot that I have in chat. The one that has all these shitty commands. Yeah, that thing, I did it with Node. So yeah, really good stuff. And you know, I'm trying, well, not that I'm trying, but I'm thinking about, you know, doing a bot also in probably Node.js, or maybe I will see how I do it, but want to do a bot that whatever people write in chat actually appears above me, right? So the chat will also be saved in videos. I know that you can do that with Stream Elements, but I want to do it myself. Although I will need time to do that. I can't just do it like any day, right? I don't have the time to do it. Well, I mean, I guess I do have the time. It's just that the time I have to do that, I rather use it to like watch streams or anything else, right? You know, this is something that I say a lot, but usually when your job is being a programmer, it's pretty hard to program in your free time, right? Because all that stress from programming, right, is something that you really want to just put off your shoulders when you come home, right? Just wanna do something else. Or at least that's my case. I know that there are some people that love programming so much that they do it all the time. They do it at work, they do it at home, they do it everywhere. But I'm definitely not one of those. Although I'm not gonna lie, there is one language that I really would like to learn, just, you know, because of the reputation that it has. Apparently it has a pretty good reputation. It's Ruby. Apparently Ruby is a language made for playing around, right? So, you know, I don't know how useful it is. It probably isn't that useful, but, you know, wanna give it a try. And I think it also was one of the few programming languages made by a Japanese person. Or at least one of the few popular programming languages made by a Japanese person. Haven't ever touched Ruby Rails. Yeah, me neither, but I read about it. And it seems that a lot of programmers have it as the favorite programming language just because it's fun to code. I don't know what they mean by fun to code, but if they are so convinced, then maybe I should give it a try. Although before learning Ruby or anything like that, I really should learn assembly language. I feel like that it's something that is mandatory, especially if I want to understand computers better. I think assembly language is something that should be part of my repertory, but it's not. So maybe I should make it part of my repertory. It's just that learning assembly is such a pain in the ass. Because it's hardware specific. It's really a lot about memorization. There isn't really that much logic behind it. It's, like I say, mostly memorization and trying to, you know, understand how each instruction works. So obviously there's no high level logic there because it's the lowest level that you could go for. I mean the lowest level before machine code, that is. Well, I don't know anybody who will actually write machine code unless they are crazy, but yeah, I wouldn't really expect anyone to write machine code in binary by themselves. Well, you know, there's probably some crazy people out there that probably do that. And I mean, I can blame them. I really can, especially when I'm playing this game. Like, after playing this game, I don't think I can really talk shit about any hobby. They're playing a game like this. Really don't think I have the right to talk shit about anything. damn it. Now I'm getting stuck at that part where I have to ride the elevator. MIPS ASM is probably a good assembly language to learn if you really want to. Yeah, it's just that there is so much time that you need to invest in assembly language. There isn't many material in the internet. I mean, there is material, but what I mean is that you can't just go like to Stack Overflow and expect to have answer for everything like you can probably do with something like JavaScript, right? Because honestly, who the fuck even programs in assembly if you're not paid to do so, right? Or I guess if you're not a complete computer fanatic. I think I wouldn't nowadays unless you want to learn microprocessor, microcontroller programming. Yeah, I don't think I will do it nowadays. Maybe sometime. Oh shit, the Mr. Frame Drops are here. That's fine. Even then, that stuff is much higher level nowadays. Is it? That's interesting. Interesting to hear. So it's more high level. Even assembly language is more high level nowadays. That's pretty interesting. Well, I guess processors have obviously evolved a lot. So that means that, well, it's pretty clear that software used to control them is obviously gonna evolve as well. That's good to know. Although I really don't want to break anything. That's one of my fears with assembly language. It's so low level that I don't want to, you know, break anything important, right? That would be terrible. Damn, speaking of breaking, huh? Yeah, it seems, you know, I was right. I was absolutely right about the frame drops. It's like I'm a psychic, but not really. But yeah, as you can see, the stream is frame dropping right now, and it's usually the moment where it starts doing this kind of shit. So I guess that you should be ready for the stream to suddenly end. Just be ready for it. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but it's probably gonna happen. So yeah. Careful with it. Even then, error. Instead of using ASM, you will probably just use C++ like Arduino does. Oh. Well, yeah, that's definitely good news. If you can use C++ to control a processor, that's great. That truly is great. Although, I gotta say that it's been a while since I even touched C. So I should definitely, if I code it in C, I will need to, you know, look a lot of concepts. And obviously, you know, C is like the most basic like language that you can use without going too low level, right? So, you know, it's just a matter of of practicing a little bit, right? Damn, I gotta say that talking about programming really made the time pass a lot faster. You really can tell how fast time passes when you're having fun. Because I've been streaming literally for almost 2 hours, which is kind of like what I was expecting to do today. Since I know that obviously my internet is not stable, I expected to be able to stream like 2 hours today. I'm obviously gonna keep going until it comes clear that I can't. But yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. How do I do that jump? I don't get it. I mean, when you arrive here, you have to do a short hop that it has to be pretty precise and then a full double jump. That's so hard to do, and when you do it, the platform is usually here. So that's barely doable. Damn. Like, I knew I needed to hurry up, but you have to be incredibly fast right there. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I gotta say that this floor looks a little bit challenging. A little bit. Or, well, quite a lot. But yeah, it's the kind of floor that is definitely gonna take, you know, pretty interesting time to beat. Damn, I still don't know how to do that. Do you have any suggestion for that, Sean? Because I'm a little bit lost there. Like, I know what I have to do, but it doesn't seem to be working. I know it's definitely a short hop into a full double jump, but it seems that every time I attempt the short hop, I just get hit by the spike. You're doing it the way I would. Yeah, but the problem is that it's not working. So I don't really get what I'm doing wrong. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's so hard that even if I have the right idea, I have the bad execution. The wrong execution, I guess. Maybe I will bonk instead of short hop. The problem is that if you bonk the ceiling, you're like, you hit that, but you barely have any angle to do the double jump. Because if you, let's say that you bonk right here, you're probably gonna land here. And you can do a double jump from here. Like, if you do a double jump from here, you're probably either gonna hit this spike, or you're gonna hit this spike. You will need to be fast. Yeah, really, really fast. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. But yeah, guess it's the only way. There's no other way to do it. I mean, doing that or doing the short hop, that is. Problem is that the short hop is failing every time. Maybe I'm doing it stronger than I should do it. Maybe I'm doing a medium jump instead of a short hop. Ah, too high, damn it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a short hop is working there. Really doesn't look like it. That's quite a shame. It really doesn't seem like I can do much right there. I can't walk off either. I tried to walk off right there and it didn't work. I guess I should try the bump strategy, but I don't think that's gonna work either. Although trying it wouldn't really hurt that much, but feels like it's a lost cause. Especially because you will need to kinda like spam it. And if you spam too hard, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get hit by the upper wall spike, which is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. So I don't know if it will be that good of an idea. Damn it. And you know, the most fucked up part about that is that even if I figure that jump out, I don't know if I can do it on time. Because let's not forget that the platform just keeps going up. It doesn't care about your struggle with the jumps. So even if I have the right jump, if I'm late, there's nothing that can be done. So yeah, that's quite the pain, right? Dang it. You know what will be really funny? Is if this fake last stage was easier than the actual last stage. Last floor, whatever, right? Probably not. But yeah, will be interesting to say the least. I forgot to do the bump strategy, damn it. I tried to do the short hop again. Although, I gotta say that it's pretty anti-natural to do a bump right there. Maybe I need a specific align to do that. Like maybe if I have a better align, I might be able to do that jump better. Although, if I have to hurry up, I don't think I have the time to check my align. I did, or I should say I tried to do the bump strategy, but I did it too late. Damn it. Damn it. You're right, you're actually right, it is the bump strategy. I did the bump strategy, it's just that I went too much to the right, but that's the strategy. You basically have to bump your head with the ceiling and then immediately double jump. It works, I just went a little bit too overboard with the right input, but it worked. Nice. Thanks, that's a really good strategy. I wouldn't have thought about it. I probably will be stuck here forever. Although, you know, I still need to get it, right? It's just that now I know what to try. I really do know what to try. Yeah, my fingers after a while they get a little bit stiff, so I need to reposition them a little bit. Zero. And this song is gonna end up being ingrained in my brain, which is not a bad thing. It's a pretty good song. I still don't understand how I'm not tired of it. Like I really am not. It's such an interesting song. Normally you will think that listening to this for more than 3 hours, which is what I've been doing, will basically make me sick of the song, but you know, it's not like that at all. So I guess it's a pretty well made song, especially well made for like video games, right? That's like the point of video game music, to be good enough, to be catchy, but to not distract you from what you're doing. And this is exactly what this does, which is also a staple of the Mega Man soundtrack, right? Normally Mega Man songs are really catchy, really good, but they don't distract you. So it's the perfect music to play during video games, right? Short hop is like 1 frame. Damn. So basically, if I actually went with the short hop strategy, I will be lost. It will be a lost strategy for someone like me. I can do one frame. And I guess these floors are definitely not fooling around. These floors are the real stuff. Assuming you can walk off and grab platform. I don't think you can do that. Like, if you want to do that, you have to do this first section a lot faster than how I'm doing it. So, it might be possible for someone faster. Definitely not for me. I guess we should see how a speedrunner does it. Although I don't know if a speedrunner by now still has the triple jump or not. I wouldn't know if that's the case. Nice, nice. Okay, it's not over yet though. Well, I mean, that jump wasn't hard, but I wouldn't call it easy either. But you know, that's fine. Seems too tight for walk-off jump. Yeah, I think if you want a walk-off jump, you need another align instead of the one that I'm using right now. Because otherwise I don't think there's any way you can do it. Yeah, exactly, it will be align specific. But you know, that's fine. That means that we already find out the strategy, and I actually did it once. And if I did it once, it means that I can do it again. The only thing I need to do now is actually do the last 3 jumps. I mean, I did the first one. The first one is basically spamming jump. This one, I actually got killed by this spike right here. I didn't get killed by this one. So that means that I should wait a little bit in this gap and then go left. And for this gate right here, there is no other thing other than not getting nervous. Because it's literally just a gate. Well, that, and also don't go too much to the left because of these 2 spikes. But yeah, obviously these jumps in a normal environment, they wouldn't be hard. But when you are so nervous, yeah, the nerves definitely play a huge role right here. So yeah, it's just a matter of keep calm, try to do your best, and just, you know, just do it. Forehead. Pretty much. Just jump, bro. It's not that hard. But yeah, that's pretty much what I need to do. It's great. I really like when I find out what I need to do. I mean, we found it out together, right? But I mean, knowing what to do is great, because it means that the only thing I should worry about now is executing it instead of wasting my time trying to figure it out. I just need to worry about the execution. It's kind of like when you're playing a fighting game and you pick a character, right? You pick the character, but you don't really know what to do. What's the game plan with that character, right? Like, let's say that you're playing Street Fighter and you pick someone like Guile, right? And you don't really know how to play him until you realize that Guile is a keep away character. So you're supposed to keep your distance, spam projectiles, and try to make them jumps just so you can flash kick. Right, that's the Guile game plan. So when you know the game plan, the only thing you need to worry about is doing the sonic booms and doing the flash kick. You need to worry about the execution and 1 or 2 combos to cash out the damage, right? So yeah, it's great. Yeah, I know that I always use fighting games as comparisons, but I feel like fighting games are so good for comparisons. Because they are so deep that you can eventually use it to compare them to anything, really. Oh, for fuck's sake, I maybe should wait a little bit on that jump. Although sometimes I think it is better for me to just go nuts, right, with the jump instead of trying to wait and overthink the jump. But I think in this case, overthink the jump might be better than rushing it. And I really should play and stream Street Fighter one of these days. Such a good game. And you might be asking which Street Fighter. And I will probably answer any Street Fighter that isn't Street Fighter 5 or 1. But then again, nobody really cares about Street Fighter 1. Although obviously a scrub like me can only compete, and when I say compete I mean not getting completely destroyed in a game like Street Fighter 4. That's the only game that I can do decently without getting busted by everyone. Yeah, I'm not good enough for the old Street Fighters. Like, trying to learn the old Street Fighters is like trying to learn assembly language, right? Something that is really specific, something that you need a lot of memorization, and something that you don't have that much material, right? Because it's old. And also people who are good at it are most likely gonna be really good at it. Because they've been playing since forever, right? So yeah. But one of these days I would like to see what will happen if I went online with a game like Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right? Which is a game that is really fast-paced, really unbalanced too, and it has a lot of specific stuff that it's pretty hard to you know, put into practice when you play a real match, right? And you know, people that have been playing it for a long time, there's no way you can get around out of them. So you need to get lucky to find a new player like yourself. Get destroyed over and over again. Yeah, that's pretty much how fighting games work. And it's the reason why they are not so popular. The only way to learn in fighting games is getting destroyed over and over again. Eventually you learn from getting destroyed and you stop getting destroyed, right? But you know, getting to that point is really demoralizing because you really feel like there's nothing you can do to win, right? But you know, you eventually have to learn by your defeats, right? It's just that obviously in a game like Super Turbo obviously doesn't have that many players, and the few players that has are extremely good at the game. So you're most likely be better off playing any recent fighting game other than Street Fighter V, that is. Fuck that game. I'm just kidding. If you like Street Fighter V, that's totally fine. I just don't like it. There's a lot of people that share my opinion, but you know, that's fine. If you like it, that's great. But yeah, didn't play a lot of fighting games growing up. Played Tekken, Samurai Showdown, and Guilty Gear though. That's a pretty good choice for games. Tekken right now, Tekken 7 might be one of the most liked recent fighting games. Like, everyone is hype about Tekken 7, the competition is really strong. In fact, it's so strong that, you know, Tekken is normally a game that has been dominated by Korean players, right? However, lately the Pakistani players have shown that they are incredibly strong, so the competition keeps on growing. So it's a great moment to get into Tekken if you like it. Samurai Shodown also has a new game that it's also a good moment to get into it. Although it's not on PC, so you will have to wait a couple of months for it to release on PC. SNK vs Capcom. Well, SNK vs Capcom is a game that, if we're talking about SNK vs Capcom Chaos, that game is, I mean, I think it's good for the single player content, right? But it's pretty bad competitively, which is the reason why a lot of the people prefer Capcom vs SNK, which, you know, it might sound like it's the same game, but they're actually two different games. Capcom vs SNK was made by Capcom, and SNK vs Capcom was made by SNK, right? Obviously, most people prefer Capcom vs SNK, but you know, I feel like SNK vs Capcom is good because of the secret bosses and all of that. But yeah, gameplay wise, competitively, not so much. But, you know, it has some pretty cool characters. Although you can probably say that about any crossover fighting game, right? Obviously Capcom vs SNK had amazing characters as well. Oh, you mean Capcom vs SNK 2? Yeah, that's a favorite of a lot of games, of a lot of players, I mean. Capcom vs SNK 2 has such a huge roster, has such an amazing soundtrack, has really good looking backgrounds, has a really hard to get and defeat true final boss. It's an amazing game, really. It's an amazing game. It's such a shame though that it's so unbalanced, but even if it is unbalanced, a lot of the people like playing it competitively. Although obviously the scene is not as big as it was when it just released, right? But you know, there are still some people that play it here and there. And even if you don't have a competitive scene, the single player content of that game is excellent, so you don't even have to worry about it. And the roster is so good too. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, right? But I think in that game, Felicia was in that game, right? I mean Felicia from Darkstalkers. I don't quite remember if it was Capcom vs SNK. But if it was, you basically could make Felicia fight against Rugal from King of Fighters. That's so ridiculous and so good at the same time. But yeah, that's the magic of crossovers. Which is the reason why games like Marvel vs. Capcom are also amazing. A big shame that the last Marvel vs. Capcom was pretty disappointing, talking about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But you know, overall the Marvel vs. Capcom games are pretty solid, whether you play it competitively or not. And the crossover right there gets even more crazy, because you have characters like Captain America and the Hulk fighting against Ryu from Street Fighter and Dante from Devil May Cry, right? It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I definitely should stream one of these days a fighting game. Although that fighting game is most likely gonna be Ultra Street Fighter vs. Capcom, but 4, I mean. But you know. The problem with that game though is that if you find, well, it's just like any fighting game, right? If you find someone that is really good, there is no way you can win unless you are just as good. And to be just as good, sometimes you need years of experience. And no, I'm not exaggerating, I literally mean years of experience. But that's fine. That's the nature of fighting games after all. And again, the reason why they are such a niche, game category, right? You really don't see much fighting games nowadays. I mean, aside from the big names, right? Obviously you have Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, right? And some SNK game, in this case for example Samurai Shodown, right? But for the most part, yeah, other than the big names, it's pretty hard to see a fighting game do well, right? Sales wise, I mean. It's pretty hard. Oh, you also have the occasional fighter from Arc System Works, right? Which is the company behind Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. You have those, it's just that the player base is obviously smaller than games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, right? But obviously those have international recognition, right? I mean, everyone knows who a Scorpion is, everyone knows what a Fatality is, right? Everyone knows who Ryu is. Even if they don't know him by name, they know what a Hadouken and a Shoryuken is, right? So those names, just by name alone, they are really, really popular. I wish BlazBlue was easier to play, because BlazBlue pretty much is one of my favorite fighting games, right? When it comes to single player content, that is. But damn, it's so hard to play. You have these long ass combos that you have to memorize and also execute perfectly. And you know, you have characters that are so cheap that once you're in the corner, you're done, pretty much. They get 2 hits in and you're dead. And the game plan for the characters most of the time is not that obvious, right? So yeah, I wish BlazBlue was easier to play. But it's a really good game regardless. Although obviously if it was easier to play, it will lose a pretty big part of its charm, right? But you know, whatever. You remember playing BlazBlue and getting stomped over and over again? Yeah. Yeah, BlazBlue is one of those games that is just extremely hard. It's extremely hard to play competitively because, first of all, it's a game that has air dash. A game that has air dash and double jump, by the way, it has those 2 things. It means that it already has an incredibly big mobility gap. That means that you will have a lot of movements that are gonna be ridiculous, right? They're gonna have ridiculous range. They are gonna, you know, probably be hard to understand at first. So most of the time when you're playing BlazBlue and you wanna get good competitively, you first need to understand what the hell is going on. Once you understand what's going on, you need to learn all these combos that are so big and so hard to do that you're just gonna get stuck with that for a pretty long time already. And let's say that you did those 2 things, right? Like learn the game and learn the combos. You then need to outsmart your opponent, which if he has more knowledge than you, even if it's just a little bit more knowledge, it's gonna completely destroy you. So yeah, that's basically BlazBlue. Guilty Shear. Well, Guilty Shear is not that different either. Guilty Shear is a game that has long combos, has pretty hard to understand characters and mechanics, and there's also the fact that, you know, the amount of knowledge in the game is pretty big. So sometimes you're just gonna lose for your lack of knowledge. Just for that. It really is pretty fucked up. Guilty Shear and BlazBlue are amazing games, but they are so hard to play competitively. They are indeed pretty similar. They are pretty similar. Well, I mean, after all, they are made by the same people. So, yeah. But yeah, it's so hard to play. And I feel like Guilty Shear is even harder to play than BlazBlue. Because with BlazBlue, you have some combos, some pretty basic combos, right? That, you know, are the classic opener, damage, and then ender, right? And those are usually easy to do in BlazBlue. Because you have something that is called a revolver action, I think. Which basically means that you press the weak punch, the medium punch, and the heavy punch, and that's most of the times a combo with every character, right? And then after all, you can do an ender with a special, and even if it's a pretty, you know, low damage combo and it's definitely not optimal at all, you can use it and, you know, do something a little bit decent. With Guilty Shear though, a lot of those combos are not as easy as in BlazBlue. You have to go out of your way not only to learn them, but also to execute them. Executing combos in Guilty Shear, at least in my experience, is way harder than in BlazBlue. Obviously, sometimes it's character specific, right? You have characters like, I will say, Kokonoe, right? Or Tegar, that have some, at least to me, right? Some pretty hard combos to hit. But at the same time, you have characters like Ragna, Noelle, right? You have all these characters that you can choose combo with them even when you don't know shit about the game, right? With Guilty Shear, I feel like even characters like Sol, which is the main character and probably one of the easiest to just pick up and play. Obviously not easy to master, but like easy to just play with. Even that character doesn't have that obvious combos that are opener, damage and ender. Like, I mean, sure, you can press weak, medium and heavy punch and then do a special. It will probably work, but the execution is way more tight than in BlazBlue. And sometimes which special you need to do is not as obvious as it is in BlazBlue. You know, that's just my experience while playing both games. Both games are amazing, but they are also amazingly hard. So yeah, if you're a fan of really hard challenges, those games are for you, for sure. Basically every character is memorization, very few straightforward characters, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much how it goes. But you know, it's still a really good game. And if you actually know how to play, like let's say that you actually, for some reason, you actually put your whole mind into the game, you learn it and you can play it at high level, or at least mid to high level. The game at that level, as far as I can tell, is amazing. But obviously getting there in the first place is torturous. The amount of memorization, practice, execution, experience that you have to accumulate just to get to that level is something else. So yeah. And speaking of Guilty Shear, there's actually a new Guilty Shear coming out in, I think, next year, right? So that's great. Although I really hope it has more characters at launch than Edzard had. Because basically when Guilty Shear Edzard released, I think it only had like 12 characters or something like that. Really small roster, which got bigger with time with the, you know, the next iterations of the game. But at the beginning it was really small, and unless you were a hardcore fan of the series, it wasn't really worth it to get into it. So I really hope that whatever the next Guilty Shear game is, that at the very least has a decent starting roster, and you know, that at least has a lot of content on the base release. And that includes obviously single player content. That's what I want. I mean, I'm a casual after all when it comes to fighting games. So having single player content for me is really important. And sadly that's something that a lot of fighting games nowadays are lacking a lot. I only play H2 Reload, haven't tried any of the recent releases. The names of those games is so messed up. Yeah, basically I think Guilty Shear H2 had like a game that was called Guilty Gear H2 Reload Accent Core Plus R or something like that. I don't even know. It was such a ridiculous name that I can't even remember it. But yeah, it had like Guilty Gear H2 had like 10 or 7 iterations, right? It was crazy. I think Edzard had 3, right? You basically had Guilty Gear Edzard, Guilty Gear Edzard Revelator, and Guilty Gear Edzard Rev 2. So at least the iterations, unless the next game is also another iteration of Edzard, which is pretty probable, then you know, I guess the good thing is that at least they are following the tradition, although obviously the bad thing is that it's a pretty shitty practice, because that means that you won't have the full game unless you buy every iteration every time, right? So that's pretty fucked up, but you know, that's the standard for a company like Arc System Works. Nice. Okay. Keep it cool. Okay. So now I have to do this gate. Nice. Nice. There's still one more floor to go. But damn, at least that floor that was a complete pain in the ass is over. Obviously this one is gonna be a pain in the ass as well, but I hope that it's not that bad. Oh look, there's another save point. Good stuff. Hey CYM, how's it going? Yeah, it's been quite a ride, this game, but it's finally come to the end. Although that really depends, right? Because it depends on 2 factors. The first one is if I can beat this floor in a reasonable time. The second one, don't forget, it's my internet. My internet can pretty much just say, you know, screw you, you're not gonna stream any longer for today, and that means that the stream will be over. So I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna pray my best that my internet is actually good enough to let me do this, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it wouldn't. Okay, so what's the idea here? I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do this jump, right? There's no other way. Because if I can do this, I'm pretty sure that corner jump is not possible, and I can go over that apple. So I think the only jump I can do is this one. On that topic, aren't there Touhou fighting games? They are. Sadly, the one on charge is none other than Tasofro, also known as Tasogare Frontier. A company that I can't really say that it makes bad games, but then with a big name like Touhou, they could do such an amazing job, and even with that they just keep disappointing with every release. It's insane. It's like every release is worse than the previous one. I don't know how they do it. Like, it takes talent to do that. And you know, I'm not saying this just to, you know, to talk shit for the sake of talking shit, right? Here's the thing, Touhou fighting games, first of all, they are complete trash when it comes to competitive play, right? Like, anyone that knows half a thing about fighting games automatically knows that for competitive play, the Touhou fighting games are pretty much, as the Japanese will call it, kusoge, right? Now, you know, pushing the competitive side aside, right, and focusing on the single player content, games like Scarlet Weather Rhapsody and in Material and Missing Power, those two games were really good, single player content wise. They had an amazing story mode, they have a pretty interesting difficulty which could be comparable to the Danmaku games. So those two games, really good, right? In fact, in Material and Missing Power is considered by some people to be a decent competitive fighting game. Decent, not exactly impressive, but at least a decent one, right? Obviously, Scarlet Weather Rhapsody introduced the RNG bullshit that nobody likes, but you know, even with that, Scarlet Weather Rhapsody is a really good single player game. Now, let's try to dive into the other games, right? You have Hisoten Soku, which is basically an expansion pack to Scarlet Weather Rhapsody. The good thing about that is that pretty much when it comes to competitive play, if you care about it, it's obviously superior to Scarlet Weather Rhapsody because it has way more content and some balance changes, if I'm not mistaken. But when it comes to single player, it only has 3 story modes, and of those 3 story modes, they are so short and so nonsensical that they might as well not be there. And sometimes, you know, I don't know if that's just because I'm a scrub, but I feel like they are so bad to play, like those story modes from Soku, because basically they rely on hitting the boss when it's vulnerable, and basically you just take a long time doing that. So I don't know, I just feel that, oh shit, the frame drops are here. Maybe it's Tasofro trying to sabotage my internet because they know that I'm talking shit. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's obviously my internet being the trash that it's always been. In any case, Soku, single player content wise, to me was a step back. In any case, it's still a decent game. It at least has arcade mode, right? That's already a lot. But yeah. But then come the floaty fighters. The floaty fighters that start with Hopeless Masquerade, then go to Urban Legend in Limbo, and then go to Antinomy of Common Flowers, right? First of all, a floaty fighting game like that is already a bad idea. But let's say that it wasn't a bad idea, right? Like, let's say that a floaty fighter was a good idea. The way they implemented it is bad, to say the least. That's just being generous. And single player content wise, the story mode is incredibly easy in every game of those floaty fighters. And if that wasn't enough, there's no arcade mode. So yeah, good shit to Tasofro for that. Also, hey Thundit, how is it going? I was just ranting about Touhou fighting games. And you know, saying how bad they were. But that's fine. Oh, and also you're gonna hear me ranting about my internet soon enough. Although, you know, here's the thing, right? today I decided to start the stream way earlier than normal because I knew that at this hour is when my internet starts working bad. So far I stream almost 3 hours, which is normally what I usually stream. So I might end the stream soon, not because I want to, but because my internet is telling me to end. I don't play fighting games, so I wouldn't know what it's like. Yeah, I see you're close to the end. Yeah, indeed, this is the last floor. This is the last floor in the game. The last floor in the game, that again, if it wasn't for my internet, I could probably beat today. But considering that my internet is really giving me a hard time right now, I don't know if I might be able to do this today. But the good thing is that it's the very last floor, so it's just a matter of beating it. So even if I don't beat it today, I can probably beat it on the next stream. So yeah, we come a long way, but it's finally here. The end is finally, you know, next door. Also, how the hell do I do this jump? I think my friend got me to try one of the floaty ones, and that is how I came to assume all of them are shit. Well, you're mostly right, but I will say that the first two ones, which is Immaterial and Missing Power and Scarlet Weather Rasputin, are really good when it comes to single player content. When it comes to the floaty ones though, they are trash, no matter which one. This game took quite some time, didn't it? Yeah, indeed it took quite some time. In fact, check this out. 72 hours, almost 73, and 46,026 deaths so far, and it's still not over. So yeah, you can tell that this has took quite some time. Good luck on the last screen. Thanks. I definitely will need it, that's for sure. But yeah, it's almost over. It's right here. It's the last stretch. Although I don't really know how to do this jump. Like, I'm probably supposed to do it the way I'm doing it, but I don't seem to be able to reach the other side. Is there any specific strat for this one? You could try not hitting your head. I think I tried that, but let's see. Maybe I should do a short hop into another short hop. Oh, you're right. That's how you're supposed to do it. Nice, thanks. Alright, so now that that's done... Holy shit. No, that doesn't look easy at all. That looks like half a shuriken you can bonk on those. Yeah, I can see that. What I can see, damn, this first part already is full of hard jumps. Doesn't seem like you can take a break anywhere. Holy shit. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Damn. And just looking what awaits me down there, it's already giving me nightmares. Damn it. 1. That's some pretty interesting platforming, I gotta say. Some pretty interesting platforming. But yeah, I mean, what else can I expect? This is probably the hardest floor in the game, so it's obviously supposed to be hard. Ah, damn it. Oh, at least there is a platform down there where the save button is. So that's something. I'm glad that at least this floor has saves. Like basically the first one that was vertical like this didn't have save in the hard version. Damn it. Well, again, I gotta say that it's pretty weird how this game doesn't have a hard mode for the last floor, the last stage. Like basically stage 10 wasn't done for this hard mode. I don't get it. I mean, considering how much of a piece of trash the narrator is, I'm surprised that he doesn't want to make you suffer more. But you know, I'm definitely not complaining, because if there was more hard stuff after this, there's no way for me to beat this before September 9. But now, if this is the last floor, I definitely can do it before September 9. Also, shout out to my internet for not dying yet. Yes, I know that I completely shinsed myself now and that it's obviously gonna die, but that's fine. I mean, in fact, in 10 seconds, 5 seconds, right there, 3 hours. We reached the 3-hour marks without my internet dying. That's an achievement. That's definitely an achievement. So good shit. So it seems that streaming earlier has its benefits, for sure. That's pretty good. Also, obviously, please let me know if anyone is tired of listening to this song over and over again. I mean, I can probably put the Lennon soundtrack over this. Wouldn't be too much of a problem to do it, after all. What's your opinion on the game now that you're at the last screen? It's a pretty hard thing to answer because, you know, first of all, I'm obviously not good enough at this kind of game, so whatever opinion I'm gonna do is probably gonna be the opinion of a complete scrub, right? But you know, this game has some pretty interesting stuff. The platforming, for the most part, is good. The gimmicks are well thought, also for the most part, because you have things like the blackout gimmick that to me is complete garbage. Then you have gimmicks like the triple jump, the gravity, the conveyors, you know, all of those that to me at least are pretty well thought and pretty well executed for the most part. But I gotta say that the game drags on for too long, and the problem is that I don't have the problem that the game is long. It's just that the fact that the game doesn't stop tricking you that it's gonna end, and it never ends. It keeps going. It keeps going, and you know, that might not be a big of a deal for anyone that has seen the game before and knows exactly when it ends and know what's to expect. But for someone who is doing a blind run, such as myself, you know, being told by the game that it's about to end and then all of a sudden you have 100 more levels to go through. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Obviously, I don't think I need to clarify this, but the narrator is trash. The narrator is, you know, it tries to be funny and witty as GLaDOS, but it fails in both. Like, it's a pretty bad companion, that's what I want to say. Which obviously is a minor thing because it's not even like part of the gameplay, but it definitely doesn't improve your experience, and in fact I feel like it makes it worse. But you know, I also have the feeling that once I'm here, I'm thinking about finally I'm about to end the game. It's not like I'm thinking, damn, this game has been amazing and I'm really glad that I played it till the end. No, I'm really glad that I'm here because I don't want to play this shit anymore. That's basically my thoughts. So overall, I will say that it's a pretty challenging game for sure. I don't think it's that good for someone who doesn't have that much experience in this kind of games. Because for example, right now, I mean, let's say that Touhou 17 wasn't about to come out, right? Like, let's say that I had nothing else to play and I could play whatever I would like to play, right? Even if that was the case, this game really made me want to not play fun games, like I Wanna Be the Guy fun games. It really made me want to just stop, at least for a little while. And when I say a little while, I mean a pretty decent amount of time to just cool off and, you know, be away of the fun games for a while. Because holy shit, this has been a pretty draining experience. Pretty draining experience. I think that's debatable. It's not the most beginner friendly, but beginners haven't showed it in the past. I think it's the length that's more of a problem for a lot of people. Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's not like the length, it's the fact that the game is constantly lying about the length. And yes, I know, most of the times when you play this kind of games is because you saw someone else playing them, so you know exactly what to expect. That wasn't the case for me. I didn't know what to expect, and when the game keeps saying that it's about to end, and it never ended, I'm like, come on, bro, that's a pretty cheap way of keeping me engaged in the game. Like, you're basically keeping me engaged through lies. Then again, I know that's the gimmick of the narrator being a douchebag, but I don't know. I really didn't enjoy that. Especially when I was playing this game, I really wanted to play Lennon, right? And I'm like, alright, I'm gonna end this and then I'm gonna switch to Lennon and I'm gonna, get into Lennon, right? Thing is, I had to basically interrupt the game, like just stop playing it halfway through because I just wanted to play something else. In this case it was Lennon, but it could be anything else. So yeah, it's honestly, a pretty mixed experience, I should say. Wasn't a bad experience, but it could have been way better. But this is basically the point of view of someone who is pretty bad at these games. So obviously someone who is better can probably beat this like in 1/4 of the amount of time that it took me beat it, right? If you play more fun games, what do you think you will choose in the future? Definitely adventures. Yeah, as Yamigami says, yeah, sticking with adventures is a good choice. Unfortunately, they are becoming much less common as time goes on. Yeah, but I think even if they are less common now, I feel like, yeah, adventures is definitely the to-go experience for me. Because I feel like that's the main reason why I enjoy I Wanna Be the Guy and Boshi so much. They were adventure games. You basically had a whole world, pretty big world. You had a lot of variety. You had all these interesting stages with different bosses. And just the whole atmosphere of these adventure games to me feels pretty charming. This game, sadly, I can't say this game is charming. Like, I'm sorry, but I really can't say this game is charming at all. I can say it's challenging, I can say that sometimes it's fun, but say that this game is charming will be a lie. At least in my opinion, right? I think there's plenty of adventure games and many of them are pretty good in my opinion. Yeah, I think one of the games that I wanted to play, one adventure game that I wanted to play is I Wanna Be the Mermaid. I think that's how it's called. It looks fun, and I think you recommended that to me also. It just looks good, so I might try that. Maybe other than adventure you will find a bonus more charming than Needle. Not really. I tried to look for avoidance, but most of the avoidance stuff that I've seen is a single boss fight that, most of the times is not that high quality at all. Most of the times I feel like a lot of the avoidances that I've seen not only are short, but are also pretty low quality. So yeah, maybe I just didn't look good enough. I don't think I recommended Mermaid. I don't know, but is it a good idea? Most avoidances aren't, yes, although you can find some higher quality ones. Yeah, I'm sure I can, but I feel like never seen the game. I see. Yeah, I guess I also seen that, and I seen games like I wanna kill the mage, although I thought that I wanna kill the mage is way harder and I don't think it's at my level. Fun games in general have been moving away from the charm of I wanna be the guy and Boshi into nil and avoidance. Well, I mean, it's not that nil and avoidance is bad. I feel like what makes a lot of, like, you know, I wanna be the guy and Boshi charming is the amount of reference to other video games that they have. And the fact that they feel like a whole game, like a whole experience, right? I mean, obviously they also had needle and avoidance. It's just that it was a lot more varied than probably a lot of the games that exist. Yeah, the reference. I think adventure games are still common enough. A lot of them are really good. Yeah, I guess it's just a way of... Sorry, it's just a matter of searching for them. Although, I definitely gotta tell you, just as I told you before, that I'm gonna definitely take a break after this game. In fact, after this game, obviously, as you know, Touhou 17 is gonna release, so not only I'm gonna be playing that, but I'm also gonna be probably, after I'm done with Touhou 17, I'm probably gonna be playing Lennon. So if I play an adventure game, it's gonna be quite some time from now. That's for sure. That stuff is mostly dead now. Damn. Had a lot of fun with I Wanna Be the Phantom. It's a not too hard adventure game and has a really fun avoidance at the end and doesn't drag on forever. Yeah, I guess I could ask for recommendations again at some point, but yeah, definitely those will have to wait until probably much later. So, do you plan on trying more cave games in the future? Well, in fact, if I beat this game before September 9, I think I might try to one-coin clear Mushihime-sama before Touhou 17 releases. So it depends on how much this final floor takes me. If it doesn't take me a lot of time, yeah, I probably can play cave games in the meantime until I wait for Touhou 17. Although there is one game that I wanna try before I play another fun game again, which is Wings of B. That game made by Soul Green. I have the game, but I still haven't played it, and I wanna play it because apparently in December there is like a spiritual sequel for that game that is coming out in December 2019. So I wanna be sure to play Wings of Beast just so I could try playing that game. I think it's called Roa or Ra, one of those. I wanna play that on release, so in order to play that it will be great if I played Wings of B beforehand. Yeah, Wings of B and Ravi-Rivi seem to be really good games. Obviously this Roa game is also made by Soul Green as well, so yeah. It will be a pretty nice experience, I think. And a lot of people already warned me about how hard Wings of Beast gonna be. So I'm ready. It's just that if I play it, I'm gonna play it after I'm done with Lennon, after being done with Touhou 17. So it's still a while until that happens, but it's eventually gonna happen. And hopefully it will happen before December, so yeah. But yeah, I don't know how much this floor is gonna take me. I mean, you can already see how much it's taking me to do this sorry ass first jump. So yeah, you can probably expect this to take me some days. I don't even know if I can beat it on a single stream. Like on the next stream, when I actually pick this floor up again, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to beat it on that stream. So yeah. Don't really know what to expect here. Think of the spike there as a gate, maybe that will help. Yeah, I think I could think it as a gate. I think that will help. Yeah, I think it does help a lot. Also, the frame drop seems to be coming. Ooh, damn. Yeah, frame drops are back and in full force. Alright, seems like it's the perfect time to end the stream, I think. Because, yeah, this is basically, as I said before, this is usually the time of the day when frame drops come up on full force. So yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna give this 10 more tries, which are probably gonna happen really fast. And if these frame drops keep going, I'm just gonna end the stream. And I gotta say that I'm pretty happy with today's stream, because I've been able to stream for more than 3 hours, thanks to the fact that I started the stream earlier than normal. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, that's 1 try. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. 10. That's 5. 6. 7. 8, 9, and 10. And the frame drops, oh, they're definitely here to stay. Alright, so that means that I think I'm gonna end the stream right now. But again, have you been having problems with your internet lately than you did before? Yeah, I think well, I mean, at some point I also had a lot of internet problems. It's just that they are momentarily, right? Like sometimes they happen, and when they happen they extend themselves for like 1 week, right? Sometimes even 2 weeks. So when they happen for quite some time, but eventually they go away. And then 1 month afterwards they come back. So yeah, and also this is more noticeable because, for example, this game I'm saving a part every time that I play it, right? So if I want to highlight a part every time, you're always gonna see the parts that got screwed, right? So you're gonna notice it here more than you will notice it with a random stream that I wouldn't save, right? So yeah, it has to do with that fact. But you know, that's fine. I mean, I think doing this, streaming a little bit earlier than normal, seems to be a temporary solution, right? I don't know if anyone is okay with this new schedule, because it seems to be working, at least until here where it starts frame dropping like this. This schedule seems to work. So I don't know if you're okay with this schedule, but I think I'm gonna be using it at least until this problem gets solved, right? I don't know, what do you think? It's basically 1 hour and a half before what I normally start the stream, so it's not that bad, it's not that much earlier, but it's definitely earlier. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. I don't know about you. But, you know, that's basically my plan. think you should do what's best for your stream. Yeah, I feel what's best for my stream is obviously not suffering these frame drops. And obviously, if I don't want to suffer these frame drops, I feel like so far, I'm not saying that this is gonna work every day, but it feels like it's a safer solution, right? It's a safer solution because it really seems like my internet goes to the trash when it hits a peak hour, which is right now. Right now is a peak hour, so it frame drop like crazy. So yeah, I think indeed what's best for my stream is to just start the stream an hour and a half earlier. And in the worst case, well, I mean, obviously in the worst case I wouldn't even be able to start the stream even with this schedule change, but I feel like if it does work, in the worst case I will be able to stream for 2 hours. And 2 hours is already better than half an hour. So yeah, I think that definitely this decision of changing the schedule is the best for my stream. At least until this shitty internet gets solved. But you know, as I always say, this doesn't depend on me. I can't really do much about it, so I just have to do this kind of thing, right? Try to circumvent the issue and just, you know, try my best to avoid it instead of solving it, since I can't solve it, right? But yeah, that's definitely gonna be it for today. So, wait, let me wait for the frames to come back. All right, damn, 73 hours, holy shit. And 47,301 deaths, damn. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today. I'm really glad that I've been able to stream for more than 3 hours. I know that that's pretty sad to say, but it's pretty much a miracle to be able to do this nowadays. So yeah, I want to thank everyone a lot for watching, everyone a lot for your patience as well with these frame drops. And I'm gonna be seeing you all on the next stream. Sadly, I couldn't beat the game today, but I'm probably gonna beat it on the next one. And if I can on the next one, it's gonna be the next one. It's eventually gonna end. You can still do it in less than 75 hours. I hope I can. Good luck. Thanks a lot, Thundin. And see you on the next stream, so take care, everyone.